And welcome to In-Game Chat for Saturday, August the 11th, 2018. It is Season 12, Episode 30, and I'm Scott.
And I'm RJ.
Hey, welcome to the show. Let me do this. Fast. Yeah, thanks. Let me indulge. Episode 3528 on the number of shows we've done. So, if you'd like to get in touch with us, our phone number is 334-272-9228. You can check out ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You can also find us on Twitter at InGameChat. You can find us on Facebook at InGameChat. Everything else, it's InGameChat on everything. You can email us, everyone, at, altogether, ingamechat.net. We're streaming on twitch.tv. Go there and type, everyone again, In-Game Chat, and you will find us. By the way, In-Game Chat is not the letter N or the word E-N-D. It is the word I-N and then game, like inside game chat, basically. In-Game Chat. I never thought that it sounded different until somebody told me. And now I can't hear anything else, and I think it's a horribly chosen name.
Well, it's too late to change now.
Well, maybe not a horribly chosen name. Maybe we should just go with, like, the abbreviation and call it IGC. Maybe that gets across better. But then again, I didn't set up any of our social stuff with IGC in it. So, not going to help us there. Anyway. Welcome to the show. Like I said, go to twitch.tv. You can find us and watch the show live while we broadcast. There is no Matt this week. He will be back next week. And then, let me look at my calendar. He'll be back next week. And then he'll be back the week after that. And then we are off. Okay. For whatever reason, I thought, oh God, it's getting... I thought next week we have a show, and then after that, we're out. But no. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Going to PAX, which after news reports this morning and what you just heard on the news bulletin there, I've never been nervous. Anytime I fly, I don't get nervous anymore. Anytime you hear about stuff that goes on, I don't know. I don't get nervous about it. It's going to sound really, really, really maybe morbid, but when it's your time, it's your time. Man, I hate to say it, but it's one of those situations, you know?
I would hate to say it, it's true.
Well, just because it's not the way I like to lead off the show. Just go right into, all right, everybody, when it's your time, just accept your fate and live with it. No.
Accept your fate and live,
exactly.
live with it.
Live
with it. Okay, I get you.
Accept your fate and just go with it. No. That's not something where I go around thinking that all day. It's like, well, I've accepted my fate. I'm not Eeyore over here. Mm-hmm. Something bad's gonna happen. Yeah, and it's gonna happen.
Look, I'm not making funny on that one because man, look, my first trip to Evo. Like I said, it was a whole bunch of my first time to Vegas, first time on a plane.
That was your first time on a plane. Your first time to Vegas. Yeah,
first time going through security. That was fun.
Yeah. Now, this was how many years ago? Because when people think about Vegas...
2015.
2015.
When I went to Evo.
Yeah.
That's when I went to.
Speaking of Evo...
Yeah.
That's a good way to get out of this... Well, it's really...
Doom and gloom, yeah.
It's all bad outside. It's going to kill me anyway. Evo.
Yes.
happened last weekend. For those who don't know what EVO is, don't even see. That's the other thing. At least IGC has something that stands for EVO. Really doesn't have
Evolution Championship Series,
and that still doesn't tell you what the hell they are. But it's a fighting game tournament, and it's not necessarily relegated to fighting games. But I will say the top draw of viewership and competitive people who are going to compete in the tournament, it is mainly strictly fighting games. And we're talking fighting games, yes, like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, even though that wasn't, I don't think that was on the...
No, I think it was on the list. Let's see, we had Street Fighter 5.
Injustice was on there.
Injustice 2. We had Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I think that got the highest amount of people attending.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah,
did they have your Guilty Gear? Or
Guilty Gear was there as well.
Blaze Blue, was that there?
Blaze Blue Tag Battle was there.
Okay. Tekken was there, right?
Tekken 7 was there, of course. Then you had side tournaments all over the place. Probably some streamed, some not. And of course, Smash Brothers was there as well.
Right.
Yeah, it was like a grand old time for everybody, man. Really, really nice moments that happened during the time. Some upsets, some things like that.
I was watching.
It was a good time, man. Really good time.
I know that my voice is, and again, nobody pays attention. My voice means nothing to the people at Evo. I'm just one person among millions. Oh man, could you please tighten up your tournament on Sunday? Saturday, I don't care. I will stay up all night and watch your stuff. But on Sunday, I got to get some sleep. You can't be having a tournament start at 11 o'clock at night and go into... When did it end for us in the Central Time Zone?
Early morning.
2?
Something like that.
A.M.?
Close enough.
2 a.m., which was what, midnight in Vegas, I think? 2 hours behind us? Midnight in Vegas. For midnight in Vegas, that's... Again, you're in Vegas. But look...
Look, man.
There's somebody else that works at this station who is big into wrestling and stuff. And I will say this, even the wrestling folks know that even though they may be in the Pacific time zone, they're going to start the show at no later than 6 p.m. on the Central or the East Coast Central time zone. They know better. Come on, Evo. Do it different.
Sorry, but bear in mind that
I know
these tournaments are not going to be a specific time. I mean,
look, I understand that they go long and that sort of thing. They need to allocate for time.
Every match can potentially go long, especially when you get to top 32, top 16, top 8. When you start playing 3 out of 5, 2 out of 3, and these are good players who know you're not going to get those quick. You're probably not going to get those quick matches. You're probably going to get those long drawn out ones.
I completely understand, but they start. When do they start? On
Sundays. Prime time.
Right.
Viewing.
That's when they start.
Yeah.
It's prime time. Like, Street Fighter's your big finish, right? Even though I don't know if that's going to change after the whole Dragon Ball Z situation.
Doubt it.
Probably not. But Capcom puts money into this, don't they? Yeah, okay.
Capcom
probably
Pro Tour.
Not. Yeah. So, when did you tune in and start watching on Sunday? Right at the beginning when all that stuff was going down?
No,
or what'd you tune in for?
I turned it late when the just before the top 8.
For which one?
Street Fighter 5. Just when.
Oh,
just when,
wow!
Just when
but no. You and I were talking when we were watching the Dragon Ball thing, though. So I know you were watching it then.
Yeah, it was on. I had it on my Twitch. I was.
Doing that. That's what I'm saying. When did you tune in? Like, when did you start watching? Because on Sunday.
Okay, it must have been earlier than that.
But what I
was watching. I know I caught all the Street Fighter 5. I know that.
Yeah, that's fine. My point being is that I tuned in during the Dragon Ball Z portion, which was the time that was scheduled for the Street Fighter thing. They had already gone late.
Look, I could pretty much tell you nothing's going to start on time.
I understand. Just back it up. Back it up. Back it up until it does. You know, next year, back it up a little bit and start from there and see where you end up. If it's still not on time, back it up a little bit more next year. That's the only real way you can probably try to see if all this stuff works, is just, put in some effort and try something different each year as far as when you start the thing.
But when you throw in broadcasts and things like that for cable and television, you definitely
I don't think they were on television this week.
No, I don't think they were.
Or this year. Last year they were.
Yeah, Toon Disney and ESPN and things like that, but I don't think they
and I wonder why they didn't pick it back up this year. I don't know if it was viewership or, I don't know, maybe it just went way too long. I don't mind it going long.
They probably couldn't put it on. Probably couldn't do it live.
Yeah, I don't mind it
Really
going
couldn't do
long.
it
I don't
live.
mind it having the competition that it does. I don't mind it having some of those fantastic matches that just span a good long while. I'm just saying plan for that. I don't say take that away. Don't put rules in that eliminate having something like that. I'm just saying back it up. Back up the start time. That's all. Move it earlier than what you have programmed, because it is, and I'll say this, it is never worked out.
Yeah, I'm about to say it will
Never.
not start on time.
It is never since worked out. So why not back it? Because they're not backing it up. They just keep having it at the same time all the time, and they never have it on time. So I don't know. It's neither here nor there. It's already over with. So I just hate that I can't watch it live, and I easily get spoiled the next morning as to what happened. So, but oh man, the Dragon Ball Z stuff was fantastic to watch. Those two guys.
The finals.
The finals.
Sonic Fox and Goichi.
Yeah, and Goichi. Yeah, it was. Is he Canadian, Sonic Fox, or is he United States?
He's U.S.
He's U.S. Okay,
I think he's U.S.
I wasn't sure if it was Canadian or if he was U.S. But yeah, it was U.S. versus and Goichi is Japan. Yeah, so it was U.S. versus Japan in Dragon Ball Z, and it was a fantastic match. From what I understand, the Sonic Fox had already sent Goichi to the losers bracket, or was it the other way around?
I believe that's what it was.
Yeah, he had already sent Goichi to the losers bracket. Anyway, so the way the brackets work is there's the winner's bracket and there's the losers bracket, and at the end of it, the winner of the winner's bracket plays the winner of the losers bracket. Basically,
Winner of the losers bracket. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and they have it out in the finals to see who it is. Now, if the loser beats the winner, this is to see if you can follow me. That winner then becomes a loser. It's double elimination. So he's only been eliminated once, which means he's got to do it again. So they do a 3 out of 5 once, and if the winner can't take it at that point, they do another 3 out of 5 to see who's the winner of it again. So that was the situation. And we always have these situations before. I want to say we had them last year as well. But it's always great when we have these situations because it really shows the competitiveness, and it shows how good these people are at these games. Until you get a run like what happened with Sonic Fox on his round 2 after he had been knocked into the losers bracket and just went.
Sonic Fox tends to like
3 for 3.
He tends to pick up the effort when he gets in the loser bracket. Just like takes it up to another level.
Well, he had already eliminated old boy down to the losers bracket to begin with, and then Goichi ran away with it and sent him to the losers bracket. And then Sonic Fox came back and went 3 for 3, no problem. There was that little situation about switching sides, and there's been some talk. About and as far as I look at it, everything was on the level. And as far as I look at it, I look at the coordinators of the tournament to be in the position of where the blame can lay.
Yeah, they make the call.
Well, it's not necessarily they make the call. It was the fact that they didn't know what to do. He asked for a side. Sonic Fox asked for a side change. He was on the player 2. He wanted player 1. Rules state that if you are the loser coming in against a challenger, which he was for that next round, you have the option of changing sides. And honestly, the rules don't state that if the other person doesn't allow that it has to go to a coin flip. There is no consensus giving to the other person. If the loser wishes to switch sides for the next round, he has the ability to do that. The winner does not have the ability to say, no, I object. From what I was reading in the rules, there is nothing in there like that. But the people organizing and running it didn't know anything about this, saw that Goichi said, no, can I keep my side? And they said, well, let's do a coin flip. And then they had to find a coin. Anyway, whole point of this is that Goichi, who had already knocked out Sonic Fox into the losers bracket, had this nice run, this nice momentum, this whole thing going. And then Sonic Fox, with this one thing, and I don't think he had any intention to delay this or to stop this. It's like calling timeout in a game where you shut down the momentum of the other team. He shut down the momentum of Goichi only for the fact that the organizers didn't know what to do when he asked for that request to switch sides. And they're like, we don't know what to do. Flip a coin? Yeah, flip a coin. It was like a 5-minute interval before they got back to fighting again. So it was a nice thing for it cooled down Goichi from having that streak. It gave Sonic Fox time to either recollect himself or do whatever he needed to do. I have no idea. But and again, I also go back to the fact that I don't care what side you're on. You got to learn to play best on whatever side you're dealt, you know. You're the fighter guy among us. Yeah. My whole thing is it doesn't matter if you're playing on the left side or the right side because
during the game, you will switch.
You're gonna
be
have
put on
no
the other
idea
side.
what side you're going to be playing on, so it doesn't matter. Don't learn one, learn both. Although I don't think it's that difficult because it's just in relation to where your opponent is as to what you do with the way you move the stick. So I don't think there's I don't think it's a big deal.
If you're playing a fighting game and you can't do a quarter circle, you can do a quarter circle motion forward on the one player side. Well, you learn how to do it on the 2-player side. Well, because like I said, during the game, you're going to be switched sides. And it's going to switch. Now you're going to have to do a quarter circle forward from the other side of the screen.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So if you can't do it, you need to practice that more.
Yeah, that was the thing. Was that a lot of people that I read kind of felt the same way as I did in that regard. The person who had started the thread about it was just sort of asking for opinion of what people thought, and you got a few ideas saying that this was intentional. It never should have been done. That sort of thing, and they were trying to find some good arguments for it, but. Ultimately, when you show me the rule book of the tournament, I can't agree with your argument at all. The rules state that this can be the case, and that was the case.
Yeah.
As for the timeliness of it, that's on the organizers for not knowing what to do and not knowing what's in their own rule book. There were so many posts in that thread of like, here's the rules, here's the rules, here's the rules. It states this, it states this. This is how it's handled. So. Yeah. Anyway, this is I love these. Evo is one of my favorite weekends to have because, well, there's always something to watch, but it's fantastic competition. It is amazing competition. It's amazing skill. I can't do anything of what they do. It was something we talked about last week about watching people who stream games or just watching people play games. I look at kids today, which makes me sound really old. Kids today with their fancy YouTubes.
Let's call them youngsters.
Whippersnappers. I see kids or I see YouTubers who have like millions of people who subscribe to them and follow them and watch them. And I go to these conventions and it's like, meet this person who does YouTube. And the line is massive and they will wait there all day. They will get there at 8 a.m. whenever the thing opens up so that they can be in line for a signing that happens at 3 in the afternoon. When they get there at 8, they'll already be in the middle of the line. So even when the signing opens at 3, it's still going to be another like 2 hours before the line moves enough for them to get to it. So they're in line all day long just to meet this one person. And I know that's celebrity. I don't mind that. That's whatever it is. What they do is they watch this person play games. There's the part that I don't have issue with it, but there's the part that's hard for me to wrap my head around. I will watch videos when I'm stumbling on a certain section of a game, figuring out where am I missing this, how does this get done, what's the strategy to get a faster speed on the track or whatever it is. I'll watch that. But to watch someone play the games and actually never play them yourself, I don't know. It's never going to bite. That bug is never going to bite for me. And so we were having a conversation about that. But I will watch these people play just for the skill that they show, just for the competition.
It's like it was last time, man. Look, it's just entertaining.
Yeah, I'm trying to find some other way to relate this because inevitably someone can throw out you watch sports. Of course you watch sports. This feels like a sport. It's a competition.
It's a competition.
It's not necessarily a competition when you're watching somebody else play like a single-player game. You're just watching them play through it. And a lot of these videos for a lot of these massive YouTubers aren't necessarily them specifically playing any any type of game to get through it. It's their personality that the people are watching for while they're playing the game.
Yeah.
They're not watching it to
Commentary.
see how far he gets in a level or something like that. They're watching to see the reactions of the person going through the level. Or
I'll give you an example. Cuphead. People were watching to see skill and to see people crack.
yeah.
To see the rage that this game brings about on some folks.
I've never been interested in watching a game frustrate somebody.
Dark Souls, Cuphead. I'm trying to think of some other games that cause people to crack and what it's known for, or basically any game with a really steep difficulty curve that makes people wig out on screen. Yeah, like that.
So yeah. Anyway, that's there, and so I mean, I watched. This is a massive competition. It is like watching. I feel like it is watching like a sports tournament type thing.
Yeah,
You're watching them
once a year. Have at it.
We were just watching the PGA on TV.
Yeah,
watching people. I can't play a lick of golf. I'll watch golf.
Mm-hmm.
I can't play any of these fighting games, but I'll watch it. And that's the other part. As hard it is for me to understand somebody watching somebody else playing a game, as like the YouTube streamer people do. It's even worse if you're getting me to watch somebody play a game that I already play. That is going to be an achievement of monumental proportion to get me to actually do and not get frustrated. Because especially if it's a game I know and I'm watching them play it and not watching them play it for any other reason than to watch somebody play the game and not get any kind of insight into what they're doing, I can't do it. I can't. When some people get games early that are coming out that I really want to play, and I watch them play it, and I know, what did I watch the other day?
What is the game? Single player? Something coming out soon?
No, well, it wasn't a game that was coming out soon. Maybe it was a Destiny thing. I can't remember what it was. Because I was trying to learn, I was trying to figure out, I had to get a certain amount of kills with a certain gun with a certain ability. And I was like, let me see if there's a good speed run video online as to what I need to do here. And I was looking up a video of somebody playing wait a second. No. It was Portal. It was Portal. It was Portal 2.
Okay.
I hadn't seen the ending in a long time. I was looking up music. We do have Portal 2 coming up in the music. I was looking up some music, and I hadn't seen the ending for Portal 2 in a long time, so I tried to watch the ending. And whoever put that video up was having a very difficult time figuring out what to do and how to do it. And I said, I gotta fast forward through this. I can't. No, I can't get through this.
It's like watching a sports, like a football or something. They make a bad play and you're yelling at the screen. You're yelling at the screen. What is the team doing?
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's like, no, you put a portal there, then you go here, then you do that, and then you
what
jump and you grab the thing. That's how you do it. Why haven't you figured this out? It was tough for me.
Yeah.
It was tough for me to watch.
Struggle.
So yeah. That
Dean Takahashi moment.
Dean Takahashi moment.
When he was playing the demo for Cuphead and couldn't get over this the bad gameplay. Yeah, I'm sorry, I had to remind you of that.
Trying to jump over a thing and he couldn't figure. Oh God!
Jump and dash. Come on, jump. God.
He didn't know he had a double jump, didn't he? He didn't know he had a double jump. Or do you have a double jump in Cuphead?
I know you got to jump and dash. It was like I think it was like a jump and you had to dash to the other side, but you couldn't get the timing for the dash down or something like that.
Oh man, there was another person on like one of the other sites who, I want to say it was Polygon, who showed off footage of Doom, and it was the worst thing I'd ever seen. It was like they'd never played a first-person shooter before.
Aiming was an issue.
Yeah,
bad.
Like, why is this? Why did they give this to this person? And then at the same time, why did this not go through an editor to say we can't post that? Or if it did, why didn't the editor say we can't post that? So yeah, there's like a couple of different levels that I took issue with on that. But whatever, that's the thing. This is the fun part about what YouTube offers, is that I can just not watch it. You know, it can be there and exist and do its own thing for the people who want that and need that and like to have that in their lives. And I can look through that window and get a glimpse of what it is for them and say, you know what, I don't understand it. I'm going to move on.
Right.
And that's exactly what we do, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to move on because we've got more to talk about coming up. We haven't even talked about the games that we played, but do you really need to know what I've played? Destiny. That's it. Grinding out for armor. That is all. Although I was playing an iPad game here before the show. So, yeah. Anyway, going into... we got more in-game chat coming up next. We've got some music here. I told you I've got Portal 2 coming up. That's later on. Right now, this is from the 2008 version of Prince of Persia. It is the main theme. We'll be back with more in-game chats right after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. That's music from Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. Track is called Where's My Guitar Solo? I don't know why it's called that, but it is during the fight with Deadpool in that game. And yes, there is a running theme in today's show. Good luck. All right, RJ, what have you been playing?
After the talk we had last week on Destiny, I booted it up to delete that armor run that we were trying to do.
Oh, really? You're just not going to do it?
No, there's no point.
I understand.
Raids, and all the things like that.
That happened.
Never forget it.
You know, I was talking to... I was playing it on PC, of course. Mm-hmm. And I found a random from the Destiny LFG Discord.
Right.
And LFG looking for group. Found a random there from maybe a week or so ago, and in fact, his name is Random Man. That's a screen name. But we were talking about what all you need to like masterwork the armor. Like once you've gotten the purple set, what all you need to masterwork it and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And he was looking at it because he wasn't really up for doing the part where you play PvP enough that you get to the legend rank or whatever it is. Yeah. And I said,
especially that part.
I said, yeah, but look, Mayhem is this week, which is fantastic. It's double XP weekend this weekend for Crucible. It's triple XP weekend for Crucible next weekend. And then it's double after that weekend.
But I still have to play Crucible.
No, I understand. No. I'm not talking. This is not me trying to convince you. No. We were talking to him about it. And he said, let's just go into Mayhem. We played Mayhem last night for God knows how long. Mm-hmm. Had the time of our lives playing it. It was fantastic. It was wonderful. Went on a 5-run streak. At least I did. They went on more because they had already had streaks built. Mm-hmm. But we went 5 for 5 in games. Then we started losing a bunch, and then we would gain and lose and gain and lose. It was a fantastic night. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, I was telling him, I was like, last year when they did the record books during the Rise of Iron, the end of Destiny 1. During that lifespan, they put out the record books and like, here's a bunch of things that you can go and do on your characters. And if you've done, it was retroactive. So if you've done all these things, it was like, boop, 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 fill it in for you. Well, there was something with one of the characters from the first year of the game that I never did, and there was no way for me to go back and do it. There was no way. I can't remember what it was, but it had already locked off for me, and there was no way I could do it. I cannot remember what it was. I wish I could tell you, but I couldn't go back and do it. It was going to forever remain unchecked on my box. And that threw me off of the whole thing. I said, if what'll kill me is that if I get all this way and I have that one thing that I can't go back and fix, it'll drive me nuts. So I'm just not going to do it now. You know, I would rather have pages and pages of unfinished achievements, whatever it is, in this game, rather than having all of them full except
that one little thing that sticks
it'll
out.
Nag at me forever. So I said, so that's one of the things that just turned me off to it before I even got there. But I think he's come around on this with the fact that we're getting double XP this week, triple next week, double again. I think he can see himself getting there. He got through one solid level last night just playing because of how generous the XP give was. Mayhem games are very fast. They go by very quick. So yeah, that was it. Running in with another one of our clan. It was all three of us in a clan, or in our clan, in Game Chat clan, doing that. So anyway, you deleted the armor. What next?
Turn it off. Started playing.
All right, that's fine.
Started playing 3-on-3 freestyle. Played a few games of that. It's been a long time since I've been playing that game online. 3-on-3 freestyle basketball.
Oh, okay.
Online basketball game. Free to play, of course. You know, but you got the perks and things you can pick up online. Earn your points through wins, both wins and losses. You can get currency through that way.
Yeah.
You know, buying characters left and right here and there. Had a few games of that. Had some good time with that. Played a bit of Street Fighter V because of the event announcement that they had before the start of the top 8. When they put 2 DLC characters out the next day, G and Sagat. So
was going to talk about that.
Yeah, G of course have basically like a deranged Uncle Sam in the game. It's pretty fun to play. He has a lot of cool stuff he can do in there. But the thing that people talk about most was Sagat, and Sagat being the same as he always been. I mean, ask anybody who's played Street Fighter before with him in the game, and you will constantly hear him say Tiger over and over and over again, and then Tiger uppercut, because he has some of the quickest recovery from throwing fireballs in the game, and he's still the same way in this one. I think the only character who could probably match him fireball for fireball probably be Guile, because he's his charge. He can just recover quickly from throwing his projectiles out. But anybody else, you're going to have a hard time keeping up with him. So if you can find a way to snuff fireballs and find a way to get out from around them, you could probably have a deal with them a little bit better. And other than that, played a little bit of Dark Souls 3 today. Got some of my characters and boosted up their equipment and things like that. Seeing if I can get. I had to remember how to play the game actually. How you don't play a game for months on end, and then you start playing, and then you have to remember how to do the inputs and things like that. So I played that a little bit a while. Got some good equipment, and pretty much going to go from there and probably boost up a little more, and then probably work on Bloodborne some more, because there's some stuff I left unfinished in that game a lot. So I got to get back on that when I get a chance.
I didn't play anything but Destiny 2. That's all I played. I went through and I got my armor. I've done everything as far as the purple armor and masterworking, all that, which is the high of the high, you know. I have one thing left to do, and that's to do Leviathan on Prestige mode, which I have done before. I just need to do it again while wearing this armor piece, and then, boom, I'm done. Just last night, I went and got my Warlock all the way to purple as well. That doesn't mean that I started it and ran through the green part, the blue part, and then got to the purple. No. I started earlier in the week working on all the stuff you do for the lower set of the armor. And there's a bunch of stuff you got to do there. Once you do all that, you can then upgrade it to the blue armor. Then you've got a bunch of other tasks to do while wearing the blue pieces. When you do that, you get the legendary pieces once you've done it on all of them. Then you have to masterwork those, which is not a problem to do. what I am getting at is that I want to get all these masterworks.
Mm-hmm.
I want to run the prestige raid layers, the hard level raid layers that drop the 400 pieces, the level 400 pieces.
Right.
So that I can max out my level at 405. Why do I want to do this? Because I know I don't actually know the answer to that question.
You're a completionist.
Possibly. But hear me out on this. Completionist. But when the new
Forsaken.
Yeah, when Forsaken drops, when the new story stuff drops, I'm going to be picking up 400 gear left and right that are blue and green and all sorts of stuff as I make my way up that chain. I am going to get further in the very first mission I play as far as gear than anything that I've been doing in the past month with what I'm doing with this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard for me to tell you why I am doing this now, knowing that this stuff is just going to blow right by me. But I'm doing it. I'm enjoying it. Here's the other reason is that, you know what? I enjoy this. This is fun for me. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm doing it. But yeah, once I get to that 405, once I hit level cap on any one of the characters, just so that I can switch weapons over and be level cap on the other.
Right.
I have to do that, and I need to get stupid boots for my hunter.
Orpheus rig?
Yes.
Yeah.
Once I get those stupid boots, and that's completely random, by the way, folks.
And it's strange you said, because like I've got Orpheus rig, and I've never used it, and I can't trade. You can't trade items on. You can't trade items on Destiny.
No, you can't.
And you can't. So you stuck with it. So yeah, I got this bulk of armor that I will probably never use for any of my characters, but it's just going to sit there. Just.
I'm fine with the inability to trade items. I really am. That would be strange to me.
How?
To get something by not randomly having it. Well, I say only strange in the sense that it's just not the way the game works. It means
not even the way around. I mean, the Dark Souls, we did that all the time. Find a player online, get together, have a room together, and
then you just drop the armor and they pick it up.
Items, they pick it up. Yeah, we just trade items that way.
But that's also not that's not in any kind of a. Dark Souls is not in any kind of. What am I trying to think of? Dark Souls isn't built like the way Destiny is built, as far as. No. Destiny has to have these things for you to chase. And if you can just pick them up from friends who have already dropped them, mm-hmm. There's no reason for you to chase it. There's no reason for you to keep putting in time with the game. Even once you get that piece, like I said, once I get this piece of armor, I'll feel like I'm done for now. Mm-hmm. I'm good. I can wait till the new stuff hits. So that takes me away from playing that, and understand that this company, that Destiny will never get a dime out of me with in-game purchases.
Right.
But the way that they look at that is that if you're not playing, you're completely off their list of potential people to spend money mm-hmm. in the in-game store type thing. And they don't want that to be the case. They want that number of people who are continuing playing to be very large, so they can show, here is the number of people that might buy some stuff from us. They're still playing. Here's the number we get from people spending on the in-game store type stuff. Mm-hmm. Here's the number we get. If that number goes down, then the outlook of like how well this is going to be goes down as well. Mm-hmm. I think that's a lot of what happened when they shifted to the in-game store that's inside the game itself for cosmetic items and for little emotion, the dance things and stuff like that. I think that turned into, here's how we're going to actually make some good profit off of this. Mm-hmm. Here's how this is going to work for us, and that's how I feel it was. So, yeah, they got to keep that chase there. They got to keep the carrot on the stick for you to keep going. They can't put the carrot into somebody else's hands that can just give you the carrot. Mm-hmm. You've got to keep running for that carrot. And for me, my carrot is Orpheus rig and max out 405 at the moment. Mm-hmm. So that is my carrot. And that is all that I need. So
just keep grinding.
yeah, that's just my thing. So
Wait a minute.
what?
We were talking about the Dark Souls comparison. Back then, the grind wasn't. It was just well, there weren't any grind scandals with Dark Souls. Was I mean, it's just a grind. You just keep playing it until you're done. Then they had the Bungie had all these grind controversies going on with that, didn't they?
Dark Souls is fine.
Yeah. So yeah,
Bungie. See, and there's the other problem that Bungie has. Bungie doesn't. Sometimes I don't think that Bungie realizes the amount of people that play their own game. They'll put out statistics all the time of like, here's all this stuff that was done. Here's how many blah blah blah. When they make these games, or when they make changes, or when they make these games, part of me feels like they don't understand who all is about to play test their game, and I use that play test in quotation marks because game companies have play testers inside in house to test out their builds of a game. I feel like a lot of what we do in Destiny is play tested for them. Because of all the problems that we'll find while playing that game, such as people who are able to figure out that wait a second, you're throttling our XP. We get to a certain thing and then you throttle it down, and they the players crunched the numbers themselves and had hard evidence to give to them of like, here's what you're doing, and then Bungie's like, oh, sorry, we'll fix that. You know?
Not really.
Well, no, but even that goes back to what it was doing was putting it into the player's head that you're not moving fast enough. Go buy this from our in-game store to help you with a boost, to go faster. So it's everything about a game like Destiny, everything about a game that is a free-to-play MMO, or a free-to-play game, which is not what Destiny is. It's not free. Well, it is free-to-play once you pony up the money to actually buy the game. It is free-to-play. But free-to-play games that have a long life, MMOs, these things that just continually go, they have to have a way to make money. That's just the thing. Free-to-play games have to have a way to make money. They're not going to make it off of me. I do not spend money on free-to-play games. I will wait the 24 hours before I can build the next house in the Simpsons game, whatever it is that it might be. I will wait the amount of time that I have to wait. I don't care. But a free-to-play type of game has to make money somehow. And so they have to put a carrot in front of you that you can eventually get. If they take away the notion that you can't even get the carrot, then you will stop playing.
Right.
But if you can eventually get the carrot, then you're going to be there. And so they've got to somehow make that carrot available, and then they've got to somehow entice you that you can get it sooner. So they've got to have some way to make money off of that stuff. And there's other games that do this by advertising in a game. There's a lot of your mobile games, which I don't really touch a lot of, but a lot of them will have in-game advertising.
Pass those up a lot. Yeah.
They'll have ads that pop up, that sort of thing. So maybe you don't have to wait; you just have to watch an ad. So there's things like that also come into play for that. But yeah, I don't really do a lot of those.
Yeah,
I used to, and by a lot of them, I really only mean like one or two. But I don't even touch. I stick to the ones that I really love, and that's the ones you see me play, which are the puzzle ones, the Room series, and that sort of thing. That's what I do on my mobile game stuff. Yeah. So, but no, I played a lot of Destiny, and I will play some more Destiny tonight, and I will play some more Destiny tomorrow. What you may ask, will I do when I stop playing Destiny? When I'm done with doing the Destiny stuff, what will I do with myself?
Pinball.
Pinball. Spider-Man is coming up in
September,
right around the same time that the next expansion in Destiny launches.
Might be the same. Might be the
same
week.
week.
It's the same week.
It's the exact same week.
Same week.
Like, in fact, Destiny's Forsaken. Here's the even not the worst part, but Destiny Forsaken launches on a Tuesday.
Right.
The same day that I fly back from PAX, so I will not get to play that game at all.
Spider-Man's on Friday, isn't it?
Spider-Man is
Spider-Man's
Friday.
on that Friday. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So Spider-Man is that Friday
right.
when it releases. There's another console game that's coming out soon that I was interested in, and it was strictly console. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to get away. I was watching it, and
I know for me, Shenmue at the end of the month, I believe, is going to be for me.
That's this month, yeah.
Yeah, end of the month is going to be Shenmue.
But Spider-Man for me is next month, and I want to say there was something else that was console only, and that I would be all over, and I can't remember what it was.
This September?
I don't remember. I really don't. I have that problem lately. It's like, I should remember to get that. And then I was like, what was I talking about 5 minutes ago? I have no idea.
It'll come to you after the show's over, probably.
It will. It was something. It was something else that was going to get released, and I was thinking, I'm going to play that. And
and of course, again, Yakuza Kiwami 2 coming out as well near the end of the month.
That's all you.
That's another one.
That's you and Matt, actually.
Yeah, Matt, actually, yeah.
Shenmue was you and Matt as well.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about picking up
Red Dead.
Red Dead?
That's what it was.
Okay. Red Dead Redemption?
Yep, it was Red Dead.
Because
I remember it being console only.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember because they did another reveal video this week. I say reveal. They showed off gameplay, and kind of did this. Sounds like it's going to be a running series of videos leading up to the release, where they kind of introduce you to the world and the mechanics in the game and that sort of thing. So, yeah, it was Red Dead Redemption 2, and that is strictly console only. Why, Rockstar, do you do this? Your GTAs are on PC. Why? I want my Red Dead on PC. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
I was saying like I said, well, the Shenmue and the Yakuza Kiwami, of course, but I'm not in a rush to pick up Forsaken. I can wait a little bit on that because I'll have Spider-Man. Like we said, Spider-Man's going to be coming out that week as well.
I wish you could move over to PC, man. Mm-hmm. I really wish you could.
And Destiny 2 will always be there, ready and waiting anyway.
I mean, it will, and let me tell you, the day you show up on PC, I will be right there with you.
Yep.
I will be like, hey,
way ahead of me,
way ahead of you. But I don't care. I will run stuff with you, man.
Level 460 by the time I get to.
Then again, you're pretty dedicated too. I remember when you jumped into Taken King, because you hadn't played a lick of Destiny since
at
then.
all. Yeah,
and you jumped into Taken King, and I was like, "Where are you at, man?" Because it only been maybe a week, and me and James were looking at doing some other stuff. And he's like, "Oh, I'm here." It's like, really? That's wow. You put in a lot. Wow, you really worked at that.
Yeah.
Because you were way ahead.
Well, bear in mind, it was brand new to me, and it was dated to you and everybody else because you were there from the get-go.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to wonder if I should have waited, really.
Should have waited again?
I should have waited again. I should because I had a lot of fun with Destiny when I got in late. To the party.
You and I played it on PS4 at the time when that was all I could play it on was PS4. You and I played a little bit on PS4. We did a trials run. Not well, but we got our achievement.
Right.
So I remember that, and I wish I could get you on the PC. I wish your PC was up to snuff to be able to come over to the PC side and play.
Yeah.
I would really, really enjoy that. So.
But then again, let's see. When Taken King came out, you didn't have to pay again. Did you do
You had to. There were like, it's a lot like what Forsaken is doing. There was a bunch of different editions of the game. In order to play the expansion, you had to have the base game,
right?
Plus the 2 expansions that were released in between them.
Okay, got that.
So they did some deal where I think for like $60 or maybe it was $70, it got you everything you needed to start off with, to get going with. So I think that's what I think that's how it was.
That's how it worked last time.
Yeah. Well, you did have to have the base game and the 2 expansions, just like you do for Forsaken this year. So I believe that's how it worked.
Yeah.
So
let's see
what?
I'm trying to think when I did buy Taken King, everything it was $60-$70 from then. Yeah.
I don't think you got it the day it launched. Because I mean, me and James and Matt were already moving on.
Were doing
through
your thing,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
we were already moving through it. James, I don't know if he's he's picking up Warcraft, which is in the next couple of weeks. He's picking up the Warcraft expansion. I don't know if he's going to... There was at one time he was talking about jumping back into Destiny, not necessarily this year, but when Forsaken releases, jumping back in with that. Mm-hmm. But when I see him on now, and oddly enough, when I see Daniel, and for those of you who remember who Daniel is, he used to be on the show. Now he works for Bungie on Destiny. Whenever I see James on, and whenever I see Daniel on, both of them are playing World of Warcraft. Mm-hmm. I never see Daniel on PC playing Destiny.
You don't want to take your work home with you, do
Well,
you?
he may be playing on PS4. He could be playing over there. Some people prefer whatever, you know. So I used to see him anytime I saw him on PS4. I used to see him playing Destiny.
Okay.
So, but on PC, I see him on Warcraft. Anyway, we need to take a break. When we come back, we will have more to talk about. There's plenty going on. Well, we already covered some of the Evo stuff because we talked about the new fighters that are going to be in some of the fighting games. Although there was a massive stream for Super Smash Brothers. It was another ton of information about Smash Brothers, which is Nintendo's fighting game. So there's that. And more to talk about. We'll be right back with more of In-Game Chat in just a bit. Remember all of the music here. It's all linked on a theme. I downloaded it all last night.
So that's not the theme, by the way.
Yeah, that is not the theme. It's something I got to come up with every time I do this. So this next track comes from Black Ops 3, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, which I think Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is in the beta weekend this weekend.
Maybe.
At least on the PC, I think it is. Yeah, this is from Black Ops 3, though. It's called Ramsey Station. We'll be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music, this is from Arkham Knight, so you were right about the ominous thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I just heard the openings like this music sounds kind of ominous.
Mm-hmm. Bad stuff about to happen.
Yeah. This is Batman Arkham Knight, and it's called, the track is called Gun Runner.
Mm-hmm.
So,
this is the one with the Batmobile.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. But this particular track is played when you're there's a section of the game where you have to follow these trucks. You have to keep them within your vision. You're trying to follow them to a hideout and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So.
I think that game had the hardest elements I've ever had to go through in any of the Batman Arkham series. Is when you had to defend the GCPD. You know, when we got the game.
Oh,
remember the game over?
No,
straight?
no. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I mean, multiple attempts to get through that.
I mean, you can go back to older episodes before the game was released and listen to me criticize their use of the Batmobile. I was excited that they were putting it in the game. I was excited to see any more just Bat stuff being thrown into the game. But I was also extremely weary about putting it. People were happy. They're like, yay, we finally get to try. I was like, yeah, you have to understand. Once you get the ability to do that, once you get this, like, the game can kind of help you be a better Batman. I mean, obviously you can miss some punches and things like that, or whatever. But even when you fall off the top of a roof, if you don't do anything, he expands his cape just before he hits the ground and has a nice little smooth landing, even if you don't touch anything.
Yep.
So, I mean, it helps you be a nice little stylistic, better type Batman. However, when they put you into a car, and I don't care what game it is, any time that I've been a badass on the street as either a superhero or whoever, look at L.A. Noire.
Yeah.
I was like going through and there's a crime here, and I'm going to figure out who you are. So any of that stuff on foot, even some of the shooting mechanics and everything else, on foot, fine. But you put me in a car, and there was no way that I would have been hired to work on the force of the LAPD.
Well,
and
you're a bad driver.
Oh well, number one, I didn't pay attention to the law, to the street laws or anything. Nobody ever does when they put you into a car in a video game. You just drive to your next destination and try not to hit anybody, or you do, because
and you get demerits in LA Noire for doing so.
You do.
So, yeah.
You get some issues whenever that happens, and so you're supposed to drive whatever. And the problem is that the NPC cars that would pull around you or move around, you just ding them. I mean, you would just little tink. Just the tiniest of little bumps, and it's like, oh no, and boom, star or whatever.
Yeah, I got a demerit.
Yeah.
I got a demerit on a case like that.
So I knew when they were going to put you into a car in Batman, I was like, you are not going to feel like Batman driving this Batmobile. It's going to go in all sorts of different ways. You're gonna not be able to, if they don't get the handling right, it's going to be horrible. It's gonna, yeah. I was very critical about it. I was very I was very cautious.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe cautiously optimistic that things were going to go good with this. And then even after I got it, I was like, I don't like this. I don't like it. And even after I played more of it, I was like, oh man, they relied way too heavily on using this Batmobile mechanic, this tank thing, and this whatever.
Is it kind of like the over reliance of the detective mode for the first Arkham?
No, because you could play the entire game in detective mode. You actually have to get out of the Batmobile to do stuff.
Yeah.
But what they did was they just had too many parts where the Batmobile was necessary to finish sections of the game.
Yeah.
The Riddler trophies aside, because there were the Riddler races, although for the most part, if you wanted to really get through this game, you still had to do those. But too much of that, just like you said, defending the GCPD was a tough thing to crack.
Multiple attempts on that one.
And honestly, if you had not prepared yourself, and I don't want to say prepare yourself, but that comes really close to the end of the game. So you've earned a lot of experience points to dump into your suit, your car, and everything else. But if you had focused everything on the suit or on some of your gadgets or stuff like that and kind of left the car by itself, you'd really be in a bad situation come this fight.
Your SOL.
You would be in a really bad situation. So I really hate how the Batmobile was handled in that game. A lot of people were expecting something from Rockstar for this, from E3 this year, and Rockstar was just silent. They issued a statement on Twitter saying that we loved everything we saw at E3, but we have nothing to announce or say at this time. So we're still in the weeds as far as what Rockstar or what Rocksteady. I said Rockstar, Rocksteady is working on as far as maybe something next. I don't know. Are they staying with the superhero genre? Are they moving away from Batman? Are they going some different route? I have no idea. And they haven't said. So let's see. So we talked about some of the fighting games and what was going on there. Smash Brothers had a huge showing on, was it Tuesday or Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday that the Nintendo did a Nintendo Direct with Smash Brothers. And Smash Brothers Ultimate for the Nintendo Switch feels a lot like what Mario Kart 8 was for the Nintendo Switch, but on cranked up to 11, really. Mario Kart 8, yes, they had a lot of tracks. I don't think they had all the tracks. They had a lot of tracks. They had a lot of, and probably all of the people that you can play with as far as the racers and stuff. But the sheer amount of things being put into this Smash Brothers game is unreal. There are, I don't know how many people are combatants. I don't know, the roster. I have no idea how big that is. There's 103 stages. 103 stages. Okay. RJ?
Yes.
How many are in Street Fighter V? Just round it. 30?
20.
20. I went high. 20. 103 places for you to fight.
Okay.
In fact, I think there's one stage that just rotates. It just changes to a different stage periodically through the match.
Okay. So it just swaps. It doesn't literally rotate.
Well, it rotates what it is. It doesn't actually rotate
because when you say rotate in Street Fighter V, I'm thinking about the Skies of Honor stage, which causes vertigo in some players.
Not in some kind of a 3D space. No. Yeah. Good Lord, that would be horrible.
Oh, yeah. Go look up Skies of Honor, Street Fighter V, and see the stage, how the background literally rotates. You're on the wing of a plane, and the plane's consistently doing a barrel roll.
Neat. So are you sometimes upside down, or does they just change the background?
The background's upside down.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
it's like you're on the wing of a plane, and the plane's in a barrel roll. So you're still in the foreground, but the background's constantly spinning around. That causes vertigo in some places.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about if instead of the background changes, the stage slowly rotates. So if you're on the right side of the screen and your opponent's on the left side of the screen and you're doing all your movements in that direction, but as it changes and goes like around, then suddenly he become it's become opposite. You're upside down, but now your left is your right and everything else.
Yeah.
That'd be ridiculous. I kind of want to see it, but that'd be ridiculous. Anyway, 103 stages. There's 28 hours. 28 hours of music.
Okay.
There's a ton of musical tracks. I think every single track has been. They've added Simon Belmont in the game. They added King K. Rool in the game.
Dark Samus, wasn't it?
Was that an addition? I have no idea.
Dark Samus Aran or something like that. Some alternate Metroid outfit.
It's a lot.
28 hours, huh?
28 hours of music.
I'm trying to think how long.
And we're going to play them all.
Right, yeah, marathon. Yeah, for charity. Do it for charity.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a longer soundtrack. Probably be some RPG or something like that. I think Gran Turismo 5 had a heck of a long soundtrack. How many hours was in that one? I mean,
I'm sure, but for a fighting game,
before a party game / fighter, yeah, it's going to be that's a lot. 28 hours.
It's going to be a massive amount. So what else? There was Blizzard says it has multiple Diablo projects in the works, which is fine. I haven't played Diablo in a while. I'd love to kind of get back in on Diablo. I see a lot of people who get in there and play it and whatever, and I know they've changed the economy up whenever I was after I'd stopped playing it. I stopped playing it mainly because of the economy, and then they switched it, and I just never went back to it.
Yeah.
A PS4 Pro is getting released.
Special version?
The not retro version, a transparent version.
Kind of like the Dreamcast shells in the back in the day.
Yeah, I remember Xbox. The original big green Xbox had a transparent version.
The bulletproof one.
To commemorate a Halo release or something, you could see everything inside of it. PlayStation system has sold over 500 million units worldwide. Sony is celebrating by releasing a limited edition PlayStation 4 Pro. In the 24 years since the original PlayStation release, blah, 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 PlayStation system have sold 525.3 million units worldwide. This 500 million limited edition PS4 Pro features a translucent dark blue console shell and a matching controller, a camera, a vertical stand, and a mono headset. 2 terabyte hard drive on the inside. It will be available for $500. It is limited to 50,000 units worldwide.
Yep, that's going to show up on eBay.
Each system features a commemorative copper plate on the front, etched on it being the number of the 50,000.
Definitely showing up on eBay.
Yeah.
What do you say? Over or under $2,000?
I don't know. I would say under. Depending on the number, I would say under.
Okay, 50,000 units, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like unit number 24,373, under 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Unit number 25,000. Unit number 30,000. Unit number 50,000. Unit number 10, single digits, going to be higher than that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I just think that.
No, it seems to be a big number, yeah. But the first, like, small digit first group, yeah.
Yeah. Extra special serial numbers like 09995, which is the launch date of the original PlayStation, will be available. The one you buy might even feature the PS4 US release date serial number of 01115 or 01013 for the PSVR. Oh, the DualShock controller will be available as a standalone. And a matching gold wireless headset. Not gold in shape, it's just golden. When they say gold, it's like a gold tier and a silver tier or something like that. They don't mean it's actually gold or it's actually silver. Gold wireless headset is going to be available separately. It will be available worldwide at retail starting August 24th. I'm a big fan of like limited editions and things like that. You know the stupid money I've spent on stupid things. Yep. This does not spark anything. Number one, I already own a PS4 Pro. That's fine.
Yeah.
It still doesn't spark anything. For me,
I'd like to have a PS Pro, but not at that.
That's the other thing, man. If you're commemorating a game launch, sure, I'll bite into that. Mm-hmm. If you're celebrating the fact that you've sold this many units, I don't know, something feels narcissistic about that. It's a good achievement. It's a fantastic achievement. I'm glad that they did it. But I got some issues with Sony right now.
I mean, no. I mean, it's just another reason for a different console.
My issues with Sony right now are their inability to allow the cross-play with Fortnite. Their inability to allow the cross-saves in Destiny. Got a little thorn there that's bugging me about that. And so them doing this, I'm like, sure, go pat yourselves on the back by releasing a console for sale, for purchase, to commemorate how many people have purchased your console.
Yeah.
It's fine. It falls directly into that's exactly how...
Yeah, reason to buy another console. There you go.
Like, I'm not even faulting them at this because this feels like business 101 to lure people in. If you've sold that many units in that amount of time, there's going to be people who want this. This is not going to have a problem selling. I get that.
Especially with the collectability of it.
Yeah, and I'm not interested in it. The main reason isn't because I have this beef with Sony or anything. I'm like, I got one and I'm good.
Right.
I'm good. I don't need it. So,
as opposed to someone like me who doesn't have a PS4
right.
Pro.
Now, like a couple of years
think about
from
it,
now,
but not like that. Maybe.
Yeah, a couple of years from now, I see one of these in a shop that's like, hey, reduced price. We're trying to get these out. I don't think I'll ever will because there's only 50,000 of them.
Yeah,
but I've been surprised before by a lot of limited editions that I picked up.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I bought that Destiny 2 thing just to get the little messenger bag.
Right.
And I've seen that price lately, and I'm like, man, why did I do that? Oof. I could have saved a whole bunch of money if I'd have just waited.
Well, the opposite. You pick up something, and then all of a sudden you look up on eBay, and it's like ridiculous.
Well, that or it's gone, because look, if you go back to Destiny 1, whenever they had their original when Destiny 1 released and they had their Uber Collector's Edition, the Ghost Edition, I think is what it was called. Came in a gigantic box, got your own ghost inside of it thing, whatever. Those things sold out on Amazon and never restocked.
Yeah.
They never came back into stock. So I still have one completely unopened sitting in my living room. But they never came back in stock.
Yeah.
So that's that's sometimes why I jump on these things whenever they come up.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it might not be there later.
Yeah, it's like the one the one I wanted to jump on, I couldn't because of Australia's regulations or whatnot. That Bayonetta.
Which one?
That special edition of Bayonetta, the one with the Scarborough Fair weapons in there. The guns that Bayonetta uses.
Oh,
model of that.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, it was like in Australia, but Australia banned the game or something. And I couldn't get a hold of it. But then I see it on eBay every now and then for a ridiculous amount of cash. I mean,
yeah, that's another thing that gets me is when special editions release, but only certain places release them.
Certain places get them, yeah.
You know, I had to import Bayonetta on Switch just to get the special edition.
Right. Yeah, you showed us that. Yeah.
Yeah,
just to get that one.
And here's the worst part: just so I could get the steelbook.
Hey, look. You like steelbooks? Have at it.
I
man.
love me some steelbooks,
especially if they're good steelbooks. And now, like we said before, it's not. You don't have. I mean, you got to be more than just steelbook. You got to be a good-looking steelbook because there have been steelbooks you passed on.
Oh yeah,
easily
yeah. Passed on some steelbooks. So yeah, yeah. So that's for sale if you want to buy a PS4 that's translucent.
Let's see, a PS4 Pro now is like 400.
PS4 Pro I think is 400. Yeah,
400.
So now it's $500. It's going to be $500. Come Black Friday again this holiday season, you'll find some bundles. The PS4 Pro will probably be down to $300.
Yeah. I saw that one for Spider-Man. You saw that one, that bright red with the white logo. That's a nice looking one.
Yeah. No interest again.
No interest.
But I get the ones I guess they've been doing it enough that I get the ones when they do a console themed after a game, God of War, Metal Gear, that sort of thing. But rarely do I see one that commemorates how many they've sold. You get some games that are like Game of the Year edition, and that really is only there so you can buy all the stuff that was released in between the year it was released. Yeah. So yeah. Nintendo Switch Online coming in the second half of September. That is as close a date as we've gotten from Nintendo recently. Whenever the Switch released, they said it'll really the online portion will come sometime in the future. Then they narrowed it down months and months and months later to sometime next year, and then they narrowed it down sometime before the end of the year, and then in the fall. It was just one of these things. Now, second half of September. That is what we've got straight from the mouth of Nintendo for their online thing. We already know some details about it already. The pricing plans, individual memberships, $3.99 for 1 month, $7.99 for 3 months, and $20 for a full year. And then there's a family membership plan which covers 8 people for $35 a year. That's a pretty good price if you've got more than one person who are going to be using the console and going online and that sort of thing. Yeah, not bad.
Up to 8?
Up to 8.
Up to 8, okay.
Yeah, that's a lot. Kind of makes me wonder how that whole works. It's probably on the same console. Probably works for the same console. I'm not sure. There's got to be
8 accounts on one console or 8 different.
There's got to be some restriction in place that you just can't get 8 of your friends to chip in monthly to cover a $35 cost per year, where you're only paying $2 or something like that. Obviously, you know I don't do the math. But something like that.
Math is hard.
To on the fly, it can be. Something like that where you can't, kind of game the system, I suppose. I don't even know if that's gaming the system, to be honest with you. Monster Hunter World became Steam's biggest launch for 2018.
Okay.
It is breaking records for Capcom, Steam, and Japanese games as a whole. It launched this week all over the world on Steam. Monster Hunter World came out swinging, peaking at 240,901 concurrent players on Steam. It makes it the biggest Steam launch of the entire year as far as concurrent player numbers. It's well ahead of Far Cry 5, which previously held the record. Monster Hunter World topped the launch of Dark Souls 3. 2018 has been full of Japanese releases as well, none of which are anywhere close to Monster Hunter World. Dragon Ball Fighter Z was only 44,000. Final Fantasy 15 was 29,000. There's much cause for celebration at Capcom, not just because Monster Hunter World is the company's biggest ever launch on Steam.
And they needed it at the time.
Oh,
they really
man.
did.
Steam Spy doesn't exist anymore, so it'll be interesting to see if Capcom shares sales numbers on PC. So keep that in mind. I miss Steam Spy. It wasn't completely accurate, but it did give us a nice idea of how well things were doing.
Mm-hmm.
So it is 5:30. We need to take a break here, and when we come back, we'll have more of in-game chat in just a moment. Here is, I told you we had music from Portal because I talked about that earlier. Watching somebody horribly play the end of Portal 2 to where I had to skip it to get to the... Like, I was going to watch the full end boss fight because I had forgotten what that was.
Yeah.
I knew how the game ended, and I was like, how did we get there? I forgot the whole way that whole thing played out. So I started watching it, and like, this is horrible. So I just skipped to the part where mostly it was taken over by the game and not the player.
Yeah.
So I could watch that, and so I did. Here's music from Portal 2. This is called Space Phase. Be right back with more in-game chat after this. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. This is music from a game that I really want to play. I own it, but I never have. Spec Ops: The Line.
I was thinking it was one of those survival horror type things.
Yeah, no, Spec Ops: The Line, which I heard some really good things about. The writing of it being very good, and just all in all, just a really good story.
I remember being free. It was free on that's another game I got on PS3. I'm going to back up. I think it was free for PlayStation Plus users on that on that system.
That was called Border Town, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. It's off the screen now, so I don't know. Let's go to the phones, talk to Chris. Hey, Chris.
What's going on, y'all?
Not much. Kind of, winding down the show here.
Yeah, like you were talking about earlier, watching gameplay footage and, complaining, no, you do it this way and right. Yeah, I've had a few moments on some of those as well, and like, really? You can't figure that out, people?
Yeah.
I don't.
You weren't yelling at the screen, were you, Chris?
In some cases, on certain ones, but yeah, it's like you it's like when you watch different shows on TV, like the murder shows and movies and stuff, and you tell them don't do that, don't open the door,
hard. What are you doing?
You talk to it to try to.
Yeah, the difference there is that's written to entice emotion out of you, whereas watching somebody play it.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily. They're not doing anything but to play the game and do their thing, and it's gonna frustrate me to bits watching somebody play something I already know how to play. I don't want to knock anybody who enjoys watching people play games and stream games and that sort of thing. I'm not against that. I'm not against saying that you like something and I don't like that you like something. That sounds in some cases, I realize in the broad spectrum, yeah, there are things that somebody can like that I'll be like, it's a little wrong. But for the most part, I never like to tell somebody that they're wrong for liking something. And so same thing applies. It's fine. I can't understand it, and I can't get my head around it, and I can't see the draw or the reason that they're pulled to do that. But that's fine. I'm sure they look at me with some of the things that I do and say, I can't understand your obsession with this, or why you go out of your way to do this, or all of these other things. I'm sure there are aspects about that with me that somebody can't figure that out. That's perfectly fine. It's totally fine. I've never been tempted to walk up to any of these people in line and say, why are you waiting here all day to meet this person? And then tell me, well, I watch them all the time on YouTube and blah, blah. And then for me to follow up with that question, why do you watch them all the time? What do you get out of this? Try and
what's the draw?
It's the meme of that whole thing of like, YouTube streamers are worthless. Changed my mind. So yeah, it's one of those situations like try and convince me that I should also do this. Like, where is the pull? Where's the draw? Where is it at? What is it that gets you there? And so I'm kind of curious about that. Where that comes from. Now, that's not something I'll ask of somebody who watches, like I said, somebody who watches, AC Wraith says, I enjoy expert play, but not bumbling blind play. It's the same thing. If I'm looking for a strategy and I want to see how somebody else did a thing, that's not what I'm going at. I'm going at somebody who watches someone play games where they get nothing of it. Obviously, they get an entertainment value.
Yeah,
I was going to say they get nothing other than entertainment from it, and that right there seems to be my answer that I'm looking for. Mm-hmm. They're entertained by it. That's why they keep going back. How are they entertained? I'm not sure. I don't know that I can be put into that headspace to understand it.
I was entertained by certain people, playing certain games like on the computer. Like I think one of them was 7 Days to Die. And just one of the streamers. It just something clicked, and what they were doing or the adventures they were having, it was just fun to watch.
Yeah, I haven't gotten there. I really haven't gotten there yet. Our stream, the in-game chat channel on Twitch, we're part of the Colony of Gamers network, I guess, and so we host other people's streams whenever they stream, and that's totally fine. I don't mind being in that group. I'm just really curious where it comes from. Yeah. You know what? And here's another thing. So, like, me and James have put up some videos on our YouTube channel of James and I playing like Splinter Cell and stuff. For me, that was hilarious. I just enjoyed it immensely. Yeah. I didn't really like the editing part of all that because we played for hours, and I would have to take hours and knock it down to about 30 minutes if I could. Just hitting the highlights, and that was I hated editing those videos.
Yeah. I think one of the best ones would have been you and him playing Resident Evil. That would have been the most hilarious video you'd have posted.
We did a thing. We tried to do a thing way before streaming was ever done. We set up a camera inside my house and pointed it at the TV so we could play Condemned.
I've done that with Virtua Fighter.
Yeah, we pointed at the TV so we could play Condemned and kind of go through it and play it while James played the thing and kind of recreate this thing of what we all do, which was we'd all get together for the horror games and let somebody else play it, and kind of treat it as entertainment value. So maybe I am hitting on something here as to why people get drawn to that. So
Chris, you played you have 7 Days to Die, right?
I have it on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, but you like watching and seeing how other people did it. Like you did it one way, you want to see how if someone did it a different way or things like that.
I found something interesting about one of the streamers that played it. Of course, I had it as well, and him going around doing this and that, and building his defenses and stuff. Found it interesting. Just things like that. It was just something that drew me in there, and I guess his attitude toward everything, and his. Everybody, it's just something fun to watch and everything. It's just
different approaches and things like that.
Yeah.
Because I do that with fighters. Because I look at like Street Fighter, for example, I'll watch somebody on stream playing things like that, like and if it's a character I use, and seeing how they deal with a certain character, like, oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
You know, you find little insights and things here and there to see how you can deal with that better, because it's something that's constantly, you're constantly falling prey to. You know, you'll see other ways to deal with it, and you will find a way to get out of it. So that's another reason you can look at and see other people play the same game.
Yeah, there's something there to that. There's definitely something there to that. So, I mean, I think like I said, I think I've answered my own question. Is that it just brings them? It holds an entertainment value for them that is a different value from what it holds for me. Is really specifically where it comes down to for that. Okay, Chris, thanks for calling, man.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Take care, buddy.
Take care, man. See ya.
Bye-bye. If you want to get in, if you a little bit of time left, you can. 334-272-9228 is the number. I realize I only gave that out at the beginning of the show, and I've never mentioned it again. 334-272-9228 if you want to call in and be on the show here on Endgame Chat. Matt normally would be here to answer the phones, but he's not. So if you call and it rings, just give me a minute to turn my head and actually see that you've called, and I'll get you on. There was something that happened this week with IGN. I really don't have to go into too much about this, but it was they had to pull one of their reviews for Dead Cells because there was a claim of plagiarism.
Uh-oh.
They ended up firing the guy. They let go of him because the coincidences between what was being plagiarized was just there were too many.
Blatant.
Too many. It's not blatant word for word, but it's there.
Blatant enough.
Yeah, it's there. I watched the comparison. It was IGN's review of Dead Cells, which you can't find anymore because they pulled it. But you can find the video that... What was the name of it? Boomstick Gaming. If you go to Boomstick, or if you go to YouTube and you search for IGN copied my review type thing, you'll see the it'll be one of the first things that comes up. In fact, I'll post this in the chat room here. Yeah. So
plagiarism, huh?
Well, yeah, they found plagiarism with this, and then other people started looking into the history of the same writers' reviews, and they're like, there's some similarities here, and so
that's typically what happens when you do it once. You go back, see how many times has this person done it before,
right? Yeah,
because this probably is not the first time he or she has done this. So let's go back and see everything you've done.
Usually, where plagiarism is concerned, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
But so they started finding some other stuff. Anyway, they let the guy go, and the guy released I don't want to say he released a statement. He went on YouTube and did a video apologizing to the readers of IGN or the viewers of IGN. He apologized to the dev studio who made the game. He apologized to the plagiarism, and he never admitted to it, which is fine. It's not like he has to. He's already suffered the consequences regardless. But he never admitted to it. He just made a lot of apologies and said he did not intentionally set out to do this. And then he called out a couple of news sites who had posted some of the stories, and those news sites dug up even more stuff and said, well, no. You plagiarized this one. There's some other similarities. I mean, they really did the deep digging after that. They're like, okay, fine. You want to call us out? We'll do this.
After he said,
you want to call us out? We'll do this. And so they went back through his past, and they're like, okay, there's some similarities here, some similarities here. It wasn't necessarily nearly as like a line for line type situation as it was with this Dead Cells review, but there were similarities still there.
Yeah.
Where the Dead Cells review has like 4 different examples, they would find 2 examples from different games to where it looked like there was plagiarism. So yeah, he's pretty much done.
Yeah.
He will not be getting a job in writing for any kind of websites like that.
Nope.
I would say for anything. Why is it still making noise? Stop. Okay. That's weird.
How old is this equipment again? Well, when the mic is back in. There we go.
Yeah, old equipment. Yeah, it's still going to do that. I don't know. Anyway, we got a new shock mounts, though. But obviously that doesn't work.
Shock mounts that don't work.
That doesn't work.
No.
Yeah. What it does do is like this would be horrible. This would be a horrible noise.
It is now.
See how you can't hear that?
Right.
That used to be a bad noise. Used to bang on this thing.
Yeah.
I can do that now, and it doesn't do whatever. We're talking about the equipment in the studio. That's how far we've come with nothing left to talk about. Yeah, what do you... Oh, I need to... I've got some appointments I got to make for PAX.
Oh, who you want to see?
Well, Devolver Digital has already gotten in touch with me about, like, hey, we've got some games.
Okay.
It wasn't just... It was Deep Silver and Devolver Digital.
Deep Silver.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking Deep Water. I'm sorry. I'm thinking Deep Water because of Eternal Champions.
No.
Which is a deep.
It was Deep Silver. And... the ones from Devolver Digital is that My Friend Pedro.
Okay.
That's the one where it looks very Max Payne style. It's a side scroller, but it has slow motion
Bullet
jumping
time.
and bullets and things. Yeah. It's really, really cool. So I need to make an appointment to see that and a couple of other things. May go to Microsoft again this year, like I've always done.
Okay.
So I might do it again this year. I don't know. There was some really cool VR I saw last year, but
Yeah.
We'll see. A lot of indies, but it is the indie. It's like an indie showcase anyway for the Microsoft thing. So I don't know. Lots to plan for PAX. I haven't really been hit up on any like big stuff, you know. Like, hey, come look at Spider-Man, for instance.
Yeah.
More than likely, they'll have the demo on the show floor, though, since the game releases the next Friday. So they'll probably have that on the show floor.
Okay.
But yeah, just still kind of planning that trip. For me to what?
I'm about to say we still got to make a plan for something in the future so that
Man,
where all of us can
I
go.
really hope you guys can go to PAX South. It's closer. I wish Matt was here. Oh, by the way, Matt will be here next week, and I believe Sarah will be joining us next week too.
Okay. Look, I mean, I got the vacation time. It's just will everybody else have the same?
I hope so.
availability
I really
to
want
go?
to make it happen. I would really like for us all to go, because so far it's just been me.
Yeah.
Sarah did go to one PAX South. And so it'd be great to have her back. It'd be great to have Matt there with us. It'd be great to have you there with us, and go. I get the issue with trying to make it to Seattle. That's a tough trek.
Yeah. Cross country and up country.
It is. It's a long way off. So I understand the issues with that one. I just love Seattle very much. I love the city. It used to be I'm going to Seattle because I'm going to go to PAX. Now it's I'm going to Seattle and oh yeah, PAX is there at the same time. So it's
not just PAX. There's a whole bunch in Seattle.
Yeah, it's more turned into a visit to Seattle than it has been a visit to the Penny Arcade Expo.
Yeah.
Because I just really enjoy it there. I will tell you this: we are, for those who don't know, we're in Montgomery, Alabama, and the weather that you guys will have here at that time of the month will be a fantastic escape for me to go to Seattle with, because of the difference in temperature. Be fantastic.
Yep.
I won't have to deal with these 100-degree heat indexes.
Yeah. 90 degrees, and then it rains for 30 seconds. Yeah. Now you got 90 degrees and a whole bunch of humidity.
My nights will be in the 50s.
Yes.
It'll be nice. My days will be in the mid-70s. It'll be fantastic, or less. It'll be great. I'll enjoy it very much. So yeah, my night as planned will be Destiny stuff. In fact, there's Random. He's in the chat room.
Yeah.
I mentioned him earlier in the show. Hopefully he's going to be on too on PC, so we can run some more Destiny stuff. But that's what I plan to do today and tomorrow is run a lot of Destiny stuff. And I tell you, once I get to 405 and get my Orpheus rig, I'm done until Forsaken. I want to try and pull myself away.
I'm not trying to curse you on this, but odds are you're going to get the Orpheus rig when you don't need it.
Of course. Well, you know what? Right now I need it because almost every time I join a group for a raid,
right?
You got Orpheus rig? Nope. Okay, well then run Nighthawk. Celestial Nighthawk, which. By the way,
I got that too. That's a nice one.
Yeah, it's a helmet
really
that your character can wear that increases the damage of one of your special power things.
Yeah, you get the one. Yeah, but you get one shot. So you better be accurate with this thing. I mean, I've turned around heroic strikes and public events with that ended it or turned it around for
But
us
see,
with that
that's
one shot.
that's where another hunter with Orpheus Rig comes in.
Right.
Because if Orpheus Rig is creating orbs that power your ability, then you fire off that one shot, run around, pick up orbs, fire off another one. So yeah, that's Anyway, it's not that I don't feel like I'm not useful in the raid, but I know that a lot of people who pull me in are like, "What are you running, Hunter?" Oh, hey, you got That's the first question. It's not, "Do you have Nighthawk?" They ask you if you have Orpheus, and then it goes on from there. So, which I don't have. Working my way through it. Xur hasn't sold the thing since March.
I don't think I go to Xur anymore. It's like a waste of crystals, really.
You got well.
I'm sorry. Let me take that back. There's new stuff to get, but chances are I'll not use it.
There's that. Some people want it to complete their collection. I used to be in the same vein of like, you know what? I'd rather save my shards because I'm going to use them for other things. Shards being the what's it called? The economy, the money,
the glimmers of that, but the shards are like building stuff, really.
Yeah, but you still got to use them to buy stuff from Xur.
Yeah.
So I would hold on to my shards. Now, I have over 2,000 purple shards to buy things with. So it's nothing to go drop some money on Xur, but he doesn't have anything I want, or he doesn't have anything that I don't already have. So
Orpheus Rig.
Do what? He said they took Xur off the map. They took him off the... He's still there, but they just took him off the map? Or did something happen and they had to... Was he broken? What happened?
He was on Mars, wasn't he?
He was on... switches.
Well, yeah, no, he switches. I thought he was on Mars last.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, the... what's it called? The hot zone? The... Something. That was on Mars this week.
That's the Flashpoint.
Flashpoint, that's all right. Yeah. Thank you. Flashpoint.
The hot zone. It's in the hot zone.
Flashpoint, yeah, is on Mars this week.
Oh, he's in the tower. They just took him off the map. Okay. He's not showing up on the map, but he's in the tower this week. So, yeah. May go and get one of those legacy Ingrams. Costs like 93 shards, which I'm totally fine with. I'm good. But if it doesn't drop, if there's no chance of it dropping Orpheus Rig, I won't touch it. So, anyway. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say it should. I mean, you don't. It's something you don't have, isn't it?
No, but if you look at if you do the preview of it, it shows you the items that you can possibly get. And
okay.
Orpheus Rig was not in there.
Okay.
So, yeah. So we'll see. I'm not really big on the collection side of things. I don't need to own or have owned all the different
I get that.
pieces of armor or weapons or something like that. I've never been on that. I've never been in that boat.
Yeah,
as much as I am maybe a completionist in some things, that has never been one of them.
I probably would be if I could equip multiple
exotics,
things like that. Yeah, but you can't, so that's probably why there's no desire to push for that.
Yeah, we got to run into the show here. So going back to the music thing, this was, I didn't really focus too much on it. This was very vague and probably not anything that anybody caught. We played music from Portal 2 that was it was called Space Phase. We played music from Prince of Persia 2008. I was very specific in telling you it's the 2008 version of Prince of Persia. We played music from the Arkham games, and I talked to you about what part of the game that had to deal with. I didn't get too specific, but I did tell you the Spider-Man game, it was the Deadpool part. I'm kind of going in a theme here to see if you guys could pick up on it. The next track comes from a Vita title, Uncharted Golden Abyss. So, I don't know if anybody's picked up on it yet. Maybe not. Matt might have. I don't think Matt would have figured it out either. Anyway, all of the games were either main character was or the section of the music being used dealt with a character that was voiced by Nolan North. That's what the theme was. Horrible theme, I know. Thanks, everybody, for joining us in the chat room and listening on the stream and on the radio. Thanks for everybody who grabs us each week from iTunes or wherever you get our show for later use. We appreciate it. Go to ingamechat.net. Join us on Twitter, Facebook. Subscribe to our Twitch channel if you're watching us there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching us there. If you're on Steam, join our Steam group. I don't even know if they still have Steam groups. We got a Discord if you want to join in there. We've got a clan in Destiny 2, which a lot of people apparently need for a couple of things that have come up here towards the end of the year. So feel free to join. We're almost always playing. Somebody is, usually. So have a great week, and we will see you next Saturday. Like I said, music from Uncharted, Golden Abyss.